kind of.
I see a doggy tail.
Oh. Yeah, there's fried chicken too.
I saw.
Come on.
Oh.
Yes. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Oh, they've got Colby's got them muted.
Yeah, they're muted. They must be talking about us.
I think they can hear us though.
I think so.
Say something about Edgar and we'll see if they react.
Go ahead and say all you want about Edgar. He's not here.
Somebody.
Don't talk about us.
He's not there, Lynn.
Enjoyed it.
Okay.
Oh, that's so cute.
All right.
They're only gonna have the family at Leon's birthday party. They decided they don't want to make a big. Well, you know, it becomes a lot harder because then you invite all your friends and their little kids come and next thing you know, it's crazy. Actually, I would have preferred that with this.
All
They had a
right.
big party, my daughter-in-law.
Yeah. She'll tell you about it.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. President. Believe we're ready.
All right. I will now call it to order the meeting of the Harupa Area Recreation and Park District at 6:33. Ms. Johnson, will you please lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
Certainly. Ready, begin. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right.
At this time, Mr. President, it would be appropriate to announce what happened in closed session. Three things: the board met and conferred regarding the 5-acre parcel of property listed on the agenda with their property negotiator, the general manager. Second, the board conferred with the general manager as their property negotiator on the other 3 parcels comprising 82 and change acres of land. And number 3, they conferred with legal counsel about the potential exposure to litigation listed on the agenda. The board on the second item agreed to form an ad hoc committee by a vote of 4-0 in order to meet with and discuss the potential acquisition of the Discovery Center property. And that's about it. The board also authorized on the third item the execution of an agreement with the Paradise Knolls construction entities. And that document will be signed in the next few days and will be a public record thereafter. And that concludes my report.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Owen. We take roll, please.
Yes. Division 1, Kim Gerald Johnson.
Here.
Division 2, Jose Luis Godinez.
Present.
Division 3, Tammy Rivas.
Here.
Division 4, Edgar Castellan is absent this evening. Division 5, Ross Lacia.
Here.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any presentations or recognitions tonight?
None this evening.
Any public comments?
I've not received it.
Okay. Would anyone wish to pull something off the consent calendar? No, I'll entertain a motion.
I move, I move approval of the consent calendar.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Okay. On to board action items. Item 5.1.
Yes, Mr. President, this is an item that was continued from our December 12th board meeting. And this is the conduct public hearings and elections related to community facility districts 2016-1, annexation number 38. And I'm going to turn this over to Ms. Gruber for any questions you may have.
Sure, as Colby said, this is the time and place for the public hearing. So, President, you do have a script. this is the development that runs along Van Buren Boulevard and will be commercial, about 100,000 square feet of commercial, which will generate just under $7,000 a year annually if the annexation is successful. With that, I think it's appropriate for you to open the public hearing and follow the agenda item.
All right. Okay, I'm calling the agenda item for annexation number 38 to Community Facilities District number 2016-1.
I think the presentation was already made.
That's great. Can you just remind me where we left off?
These are the public hearings.
Got it. Thank you. These are the public hearings of this board's proceedings for annexation number 38 to Community Facilities District number 2016-1. The hearings are to inquire into the annexation of territory into the district and the levy of special taxes in the territory to be added to fund the cost of certain public services in the district. The public hearings are now officially open. Protests may be oral or written. Any property owner and any registered voter within the proposed territory to be annexed into the district may file a written protest. Does anyone wish to file a written protest? If so, they must be filed with the board clerk at this time. Board clerk, have we received any written protests?
No, Mr. President, I have not.
Okay. Seeing none, since there are no written protests filed, we will now receive oral comments and questions and any oral protests from any interested persons. When all comments have been received, the hearings will be closed. Is anyone here to present an oral comment or protest in this matter? No? Okay. The public hearing is now closed. The way we may now consider and adopt the resolution of annexation and the resolution calling election in that order. Mr. Leisure, can you do motion 1, please?
Certainly. I move approval of resolution number 25-01 entitled Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Hooper Area Recreation and Park District, ordering the annexation of territory to its Community Facilities District number 2016-1, subject to voter approval.
Okay, can I get a second?
I'll second.
All right, roll call, please.
Kim Gerald Johnson.
Aye.
Ross Leisha.
Yes.
Jose Luis Godinez.
Yes.
Tammy Rivas.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Ms. Rivas, can you take motion 2, please?
Of course. Motion to move approval 2025-02 entitled Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Jurupa Area Recreation and Park District calling special election.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Kim Gerald Johnson.
Aye.
Ross Leisha.
Yes.
Jose Luis Godinez.
Yes.
Tammy Rivas.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right. The resolution calling special election calls for the property owner to vote to approve the special tax and the appropriations limit for the territory to be annexed to district. Because the property owners have waived the waiting periods and other requirements related to elections as provided by law, the special election will be held at this evening's meeting.
Okay.
Okay. At this time, I ask the board clerk to open the ballots and announce the results of the special landowner election.
Yes, I've received the ballot and it is in favor of accepting the proposal. So the answer is yes.
The results of the election being in favor of the levy of the special taxes and the establishment of the appropriations limit, we may now proceed with the final actions for the district. Ms. Johnson, can you do motion 4, please?
Certainly. I move approval of resolution number 2025-03 entitled Resolution of the Board of Directors of the Hooper Area Recreation and Park District declaring results of special election and directing recording of notice of special tax lien.
All right, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, roll call, please.
Yes, Kim Gerald Johnson.
Aye.
Ross Leisha.
Yes.
Jose Luis Godinez.
Yes.
Tammy Rivas.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Before, if you'd like.
Please.
I move approval of first reading and pass to second reading the ordinance number 01-2025 entitled An Ordinance of the Board of Directors of the Hooper Area Recreation and Park District levying special taxes within the Hooper Area Recreation and Park District Community Facilities District number 2016-1 annexation number 38 area.
Can I hear a second?
I'll second.
All right. Roll call, please.
Kim Gerald Johnson,
Aye.
Ross Leisha.
Yes.
Jose Luis Godinez.
Yes.
Tammy Rivas.
Yes, motion passes 4-0.
Mr. President, I wanted.
Thank
I
you
wanted
very
to-
much.
I wanted to make sure from the board clerk, there were no written protests either, correct?
No, I did not receive any written protests.
Okay, I might not have heard that, so thank you.
It was asked, but yes.
Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn.
Bye.
All right, moving on to 5.2. Acceptance of 2.75 acres of land from the city of Harupa Valley for parkland within the Paradise Knolls development.
Thank you, Mr. President. It was a long convoluted story in regards to this to get to the point that we're at. I think you're all fairly well versed in it, so I'm gonna give you the abridged version as much as possible. This 2.75 acres of land has been deeded to the city from the developer. It was originally slated to be an equestrian facility. That facility was deemed non-feasible by the developer. In negotiations, the city, through a number of different concessions, agreed to accept the land and turn it over to the Parks District. Should we have decided not to accept it, the city had the ability to turn it back to the developer, in which it still would have been developed into a public park at their cost, and then they would have to fund the operation of it. This has been a long process going on for a couple of years now. We have negotiated with the developer, and the CFD was formed for this development to cover the construction of both parks. And we are in agreement we previously agreed with the developer to build both parks on their behalf, and they are going to fund 100% of construction costs. In addition to that, they are going to fund a 12.5% premium to the district to cover administrative costs such as construction managers, and just our time associated with it. So this is accepting the land from the city of Harupa Valley. That's all that we're doing tonight. So.
And the
with
one
that, I'd be
condition,
available-
I would add, the one condition is it has to be used for park purposes
Right.
in perpetuity.
Yes, we could only use this for parks. We could not sell this land off. That's the only condition with it.
Any questions or comments?
I move the Board of Directors approve resolution number 2025-04, authorizing the transfer of 2.75 acres of land from the city of Harupa Valley to the Harupa Area Recreation and Park District, and authorize the president of the board to sign the agreement.
Second.
And roll call. Since it is a resolution, Kim Gerald Johnson.
Aye.
Ross Leisha.
Yes.
Jose Luis Godinez.
Yes.
And Tammy Rivas.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you. I would just like to note the city of Harupa Valley has been very helpful in dealing with this process and patient. So I'd like to thank them for their support in this process.
Okay. Moving on to item 5.3, approval of Veterans Memorial Wall Design and authorization to seek public bids for construction. Mr. DeWitt.
Yes, as you know, this is a project we've been working on for a while now. We have complete construction drawings. The final I's are being dotted and T's are being crossed right now. We'll be ready to go to bid next week on this project. So this is seeking the board's approval to publicly notice this project so we can go to bid. We have attached the drawings. I know they're a little hard to read on your printouts there. But all the technical data has been reviewed multiple times and is ready to go.
Your picture you can put up, just so the audience can see what.
the address is wrong, but. Where's the best picture within the drawings? I apologize. I can pull up a color drawing if you would like. Too many things open here, unfortunately.
And I see you were able to get the samples.
I have the samples, yes. Now for the next item, but yeah. Sorry, our internet's very slow today. I think it. So here's a picture of that. This will be on the Lyman, or the Riverview side of Memorial Park. To the right of the existing community center. So we're very excited about this.
Before I bring up what I brought it to you.
No, that'd be the next one.
Okay.
I move the board of directors approve the Veterans Memorial Wall designs and authorize the general manager to seek public bids for the construction of the project.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passes 4-0.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to item 5.4, authorization to purchase pre-manufactured Veterans Memorial Wall from QCP.
So this is to basically continuation from the last item here that we just approved. Part of what we're doing is we are purchasing a pre-manufactured wall from QCP, which is Quick Creek Products. They're right here in Norco. They manufacture a lot of our park amenities already, our park benches, trash cans, anything, the precast cement. They do amazing stuff, custom work, and this would be a custom piece that they're doing for us. There's a couple advantages to us purchasing the wall. We are saving a contractor markup, which can be 10 to 15% usually, but we're also helping expedite the process. We are under a tight timeline here, and if we waited till we awarded the contract and then have the contractor order the wall, there's a good possibility it would not be completed prior to the May 16th date that we need it. With your approval tonight, we will be ordering this product tomorrow. Getting it into the queue Quick Creek. The only thing that is left is the wall color. They had proposed, we talked about this last month, 4 different colors. And we did receive those samples, actual casting materials from Quick Creek. I'll go ahead and pass these around. We had 2 options of dark stone. We pretty much decided we did not want that, but they still sent them anyways. These are the 2 variations on the wings. I think what these will be, the wings will be these 2 colors here. The other thing that we are doing is having factory installed the graffiti coat, and we're doing the high sheen. It won't be a high gloss as we would typically think of, but it will be the closest that's available. So.
It's not just the wings, it's where the wall is too.
No, it's all of it, yeah. I'll pass those around. So.
Any questions?
Difference, just with the accent of it.
Well, we
This is
brainstormed.
Yeah, I wanted to. You leave it to me to throw a spider monkey wrench here. I thought it would be nice if you could bring up the picture again. So along the top of the angle where it goes up to the point, 3 on one side, 3 on the other, not level with the plaque above the plaques, but actually with the angle going up. I would propose that we put these, I'll turn this around. These are all the emblems for the 6 branches. I did this so you can see the color one. The ones I like the best are actually this, that I think would fit the wall the best. They would just be maybe a 10 to 12 inch attachment to the wall.
Are you talking about putting them here?
Yeah, not on top of you, but forward where you can see them.
Oh, in the front here?
Yes.
These 3.
Are we not putting up flags of all the different?
But that's, a little different. flags, they don't always blow, you can't always see the emblems. Kim, this is the ones I think would look nice.
Oh.
On the
Oh, not
wall,
the colors. I see.
not the colored ones, these ones here, I can show it to the audience.
So,
The style here.
It's just a texture and size of it.
And they're just basically a disc with the emblems that would just be attached to the wall.
This one will look like.
So I don't think it would be an exceptional cost, but probably a change order.
Oh, it's.
I just wanted to put that out there before the rest of the board.
So my discussion with Mr. Lejeune, we brought this up earlier in this week, was it's gonna delay us from going to bid. And as long as he was comfortable with them not being inlaid like the plaques will be, it would be something that can be adhered to the surface. I think it's something we can entertain and make sure it would work. If the best of the board supported that.
But if they were to be put on top of, not embedded, What's-
Oh, yeah.
right, what's the possibility of vandals coming to and just prying them off?
My recommendation is they're not made out of brass, so it's not something that they're gonna want to steal.
That they're
Most-
not smart.
Well,
We don't make them. Things are not always smart.
Yeah.
So They
I 100%
see, they
agree with
see
that.
gold or bronze
Yeah.
and they're gonna go for it.
yeah. The other thing that I told Mr. Lejeune we could potentially look and talk into is the blue ribbon there is stained concrete.
Mhm.
Maybe there's a possibility of some sort of inlay there. So if this is something the board wants to research without delaying the project, I can talk with the landscape architect and get some ideas and bring back if you want to entertain it.
I did not want to delay the project at all. I know I came at this very late, but I looked at some photos of some other memorials, and this is something that is included in quite a few of them, whether they have flags or not. The different ways, I've seen towers with them on the sides of towers. I've seen separate plaques. I've seen them up the walkway. I've seen them on the wall, and I just think that having the 6 branches of the service represented on the wall itself would be a nice addition. I know I came in this late, so it would be something that we might add later, maybe not. I don't know.
I think it would be a great idea to add maybe at a later time and designate a nice spot for it, or a
Right.
specific spot for it, versus all of a sudden just tossing it in there and making
No,
sure.
no, I know.
Yeah.
I realize how late I came with this. I like the idea what
It's
Colby
nice.
said about maybe inlaying it in the concrete in the light blue circle area, if that can be done.
Spread them out.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
yeah. So maybe not.
Talk with the Greenwich design team on it. That'd be a bulletin we can either issue during the bid process or a change order down the road.
Yeah.
Would be the best way to handle that. One advantage of looking at the ribbon there too. Nobody ever would have thought we added a 6th branch of the military.
Yeah.
That we did a couple years ago. Who knows, we don't have one additional one down the road, it will add for more room that way.
Right, and
Yeah.
the reality is that we would be one of the very few memorials that would actually have all 6 branches represented like that. So, because it is so new.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Okay, I can
But it
definitely.
won't affect the construction of the wall itself. This just might be a change order in the other part, so.
it. For the floor.
Yeah.
Which one are we?
I mean, I would go with the one that has the less big speckles.
Which was option
The
Yeah.
A?
The smaller speckles, you mean?
The smaller speckle.
That's
I
the
was
one I
thinking,
thought would be best.
I thought so too, but looking at it now closely, it looks like it could be considered like dirt, like dust. It's very little speckles.
So hold those up again, Kim, please.
That's
There's
big.
very little difference from,
Yeah,
you
It's the
know,
one with the big.
From
bits.
far
This is
away?
the one with
Right.
Yeah.
mostly little bits.
I know.
Do you want me to hold them over here?
I just feel like this one has a slight shade of yellow to it that this one doesn't have, and this one looks a little whiter. For the,
in natural light, they could be different. Unfortunately, we
I
can't
was
go
gonna
outside
say,
and look at it.
I didn't see no yellow, but okay, I'll see it again.
okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
This one is like slightly,
They do have bigger, I just see the speckles.
Yeah.
Just.
I'm 99%.
mission white, so which is it?
And one of the,
One is A, one is B.
It's just an option of,
the names
The
are
speckle.
different, one of those.
So overall, it's the same, but just the speckles
Let
under
me
the
try
strand
and
Yeah.
see edge, I
is
guess.
what makes it different.
I gotta be honest with you, I don't care. It doesn't, I mean, if the rest of you have a a preference. I would probably pick this one if you forced me to choose.
The only reason I like the one on the right there is because it gives at least the appearance of a smoother surface
I mean, the
than
one,
I think the other one with the bigger speckles.
Which right?
What do you think?
this, he means this, right?
The one with smaller speckles.
Okay.
I think it gives the appearance of a smoother surface.
That's would be mine.
And I did put more of like a sparkle to it when I was moving it around in the light than the.
Oh, I see what you mean. It does have a bit of a sparkle.
I will say this wall is not gonna move.
Right.
Oh, the sun does.
Yeah.
But eventually it's the same block, just the difference is the speckles.
Yeah, the speckles.
Yeah. that's
I'm
the
also
only
wondering
difference.
how we put the shiny anti-graffiti coat, how it would affect the smoother surface compared to the bigger splotches. I don't know how.
Oh, it might make the bigger splotches look darker because,
Not
Yeah.
necessarily.
Not as, I don't know. I have no
Yeah.
idea how.
Yeah.
well, I've seen that, Annie.
There's a sheen to it.
Well, I've seen that anti-graffiti coating though on things. and it
Yeah, but the
tends to make
anti-graffiti
it-
coating is a super high gloss.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is. It's nothing will stick to it in the
If
hair.
anything, it's
It's
gonna
not-
enhance it.
Soaking in and changing the color.
No,
No,
Because I've seen it where it kind of, like I
not,
think.
not this product, because that is an actual graffiti coating. This is more of a protectant that has
Anti-graffiti properties.
properties.
Yeah.
It's not the same as that high gloss graffiti coating.
If you think of the wall, the one thing I can think of is like the wall at Shadow Rock around the playground.
Mhm.
That has the graffiti coating on it and it glistens when it's especially
Oh,
in
this
the
isn't
sun.
gonna-
This isn't gonna glisten.
Yeah, I didn't.
And the bigger speckles would change the density enough to mounting the plaques wouldn't make a difference.
Well, that's on.
No.
This is concrete.
It doesn't make any difference
Yeah.
from mounting anything.
Well, this is the wall. Yeah. Okay. You wanted this one?
My preference is the smaller speckles. What is everybody else?
Everybody said the same.
That's
You're
fine.
good, Enos?
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll go with Ross.
The smaller speckles it is.
Then, do we do the motion with the change the?
I've noted it.
Okay. So can I get a motion? then?
Okay, I move the board of directors approve the Veterans Memorial Wall designs and authorize.
That's the wrong one. We're the next one.
Oh, yeah, I already, I'm sorry, I didn't change. I move that the board of directors accept the quote from QCP Inc. for $92,899.60 and authorize the general manager to sign all necessary documents.
Can I get a second?
I second.
Right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right, motion passes 4-0.
All this is very exciting, moving this forward.
All right, moving on to item 5.5, change order request for the Harupa Community Center Modernization Project. Mr. DeGuich.
Yes, as I kind of said before, we were somewhat worried going into this project. The renovation of the community center, what type of Pandora's box we were opening up. The reality is there's been no Pandora's box per se within
Nice.
the community center, the building itself. There's been some deficiencies that we've had to have some changes to, but nothing
Drastic.
horrific. Pandora's box is the parking lot. We had to rip into it to repair the sewer line. That had collapsed right prior, caused us to prematurely close the facility. That revealed the inconsistencies in the existing parking lot. The original plan called for a small grinding and reslurring of the existing parking lot. And we quickly realized when we cut into that parking lot that it's not 3 inches. It varies from 1.5 inches, maybe 1 inch in spots to 3, maybe even spots 3 more than that. It also revealed there's no base under it. It's actually a very high clay content. And then on top of the clay is decomposed granite, which is not a good sub base for putting a parking lot on. We had our geotech on the project come out, do some sampling. And he's recommending 4 inches of basically class 2 road base and 3 inches of asphalt for the entire project. The new parking lot area was already getting the 3 inches. So if you look on the change order, that's why it doesn't state that for that area. The other challenge we ran into is, again, when this parking lot was installed in late 79, early 80s, something like that. At the time, they're also putting down a felt product, and then on top of that is where they're putting the aggregate. That material is not recyclable. So this asphalt, when it's removed, will have to be taken and disposed of at a landfill. Excuse me.
You did well.
Sorry.
Take your time.
Thank you. Ah.
Do we know what landfill they're gonna be taking to? Yeah, just because there's a different cost at different landfills.
Yes. He'll be going the lowest, trust me. Oh no, I just swallowed it.
Yeah.
It's not anything else other than that. Essentially, this is 70 truckloads of export and 70 truckloads of import, taking the old road base, the old base out and bringing in the new road base. That's what's adding to this cost. I tried to compare this with other projects just to make sure that we're somewhere in the realm of stuff. And we don't have anything recent to compare to. The most recent project, parking lot project we did was Skyview, which was about 5 years ago. Remember on that project, for those of you on the board at that time, we did not need to, we were short on dirt on that project, frankly. We were able to get it for free off of a Caltrans project, but we actually had to move a lot of dirt around. So we didn't have all these issues. So it's hard to compare rates that were within reason, but everything I've looked at, I think this is an appropriate cost, unfortunately. It's just a large dollar amount to have to pallet. We did work with the geotech and the contractor, and the geotech did revise his estimate for the base a little bit, which brought it down below $500,000. So we have been working with them to do what we can in this realm of things. I have been insured by everybody from the city engineer on down. This is the right way to do it. Talking with the city engineer because it's essentially private property, not the city road. When it comes to this, we could go and just replace what we have there, but it's not gonna last. So.
Did you get any way to check the cost of what it put in Shadow Rock's parking lot, since that is a more recent? I know that we didn't pay for it per se, but I mean, it's just.
Shadow Rock, because the grading was done by the developer, not by the construction company.
That's not gonna be the cost of the
Yeah,
asphalt.
I could reach out to you, but it would be, and it's so small on that project,
Yeah.
so.
And then when, go.
So just because we have 9,250,000 in the development fee impact account doesn't mean we have 950 million free just hanging out there with no other designations or proposals for it.
Correct.
So what do we have in the development impact fee account that isn't already allocated?
About 7.
Okay. And don't we also try to kind of keep track? Don't we also keep track of where the development impact fee money is coming from, like which district, which of our districts? So where is this money coming from? Is it coming from my district? Is it coming from all of our districts? What's
The
it coming
community center would be considered a district-wide facility, so the law states the fee should be used within the area it comes from unless it's deemed a benefit of the entire community.
So how do we do that? Divide it by 5 or how is that?
We
how is
don't,
that-
we're tracking how fees are, where they're coming from. If the board wanted us to take 100,000 from each area to pay for it, we could essentially somehow track that, I guess.
Yeah, well, if we're tracking how much is being created in each area, we would have to know where this is coming from so that in any given area, we would still know what was left to be allocated.
We didn't do that with the original allocation of this project.
I'm kind of starting to realize that, yeah, but now I'm thinking about it. How do we, well,
You
I
might
think
want
the
to
best way,
spend,
the best. Go
you
ahead,
might
Bob.
want to spend the oldest money first, regardless of
yes.
where it came from,
Yeah.
because
gotta-
you have to spend it within 5
of
years.
course.
Yeah, we always spend the oldest money first, but we have another record. I think the best way to approach Director Johnson's comments is going forward. One of the things we have talked about, and this is a whole nother discussion, so we need to somewhat watch that we're not crossing borders here, but we need to update our Nexus study. And in doing so, when we get whatever new rate we get, we can look and say within this X dollars, a certain percentage of those funds are for community-wide, or specifically just for trails, or just for community centers, or just for whatever it is we want to do. And the remainder stays within that division it came from.
Okay.
Going forward, that would be the best way to handle this.
But it's just, if we're keeping track of it based on district, we have to figure out like where money like this comes from.
So would it make a difference now since you started? I'm just jumping in here. Since you already started the project and you didn't find out where the money was coming from initially, does it make a difference now to finish the project?
Well, it does because we aren't finishing the project. We're allocating another $500,000 for the project. So that's another $500,000 that even if we didn't do it that way to begin with, we shouldn't just keep doing it, not what I would consider the right way. I mean, I just think we now, because like, for example, development impact fees coming from Indian Hills, we're hoping to use that for a park in Indian Hills. Well, is some of that now going to the community center? I mean, we can't keep counting the same money 3 times for 3 different ways. So how do we count it so that it was counted correctly?
The reality is you shouldn't even think of it by division. Because the problem is if a project is on the border of 2 divisions, it's still within that general area.
But isn't that what we had agreed to do at one point, was to keep tracking it by division? If
We're
we
tracking
decide-
we're tracking it by divisions, yes.
Just saying though, I mean, we have discussions about like, oh, X project, wherever, just name a spot in the community. X project paid X amount of money in development impact fees. Well, that's kind of like, okay, that community doesn't have a park. Let's look at that. We've got that, but now are we spending that someplace else or what is it we're doing? And it's just, we can't just keep saying we have 9 million there. We can take it from there because then that's taking it from the other areas that don't have parks and we don't have, where do we get that money? We can't get it back. This is one-time money. I'm just concerned. A conundrum.
It's a going forward. I think we can address this very easily by coming up with a formula that allocates,
Keyword moving forward.
yes,
How do you?
retroactively effective.
Right, how do you come from it? Like I said, when your project started, how do you go back to figure that out? Or
Well, how much did this project cost to begin with?
4.3.
Okay. It's just
Can I-
something,
Can I
sorry.
interject a little here?
Mhm.
The development impact fee law does not require you to do that, to track where the money came from and what park benefited what area. When it is actually before the fees are imposed, when you did your Nexus study, you determined amounts that benefited the district-wide area. And the amounts were set the same district-wide for all development. And you can essentially spend it anywhere in the district legally. Now, if you wish to track it and try to make it more equitable, that's fine. But I just, from a legal perspective, you don't have to do that, is what I guess I'm saying.
Oh, and I recognize that. But when we have money, you know, there are just certain areas that are not overly, where we don't get a lot of development impact fees from those areas. So when we do get impact fees from an area that is park poor, I don't think those fees should be spent, you know, robbing Peter to pay Paul at that point. It's, if we move forward on this, I'm not against that. We have to do the parking lot, and I understand that. But it is concerning to me when I think about it. Sorry, I didn't think about it before, that, you know, we can't just say in a generalized way, we have 9 million, because we've already found out we actually have 2 million already allocated to something else. We really don't have 9 million. We have more like 7 million. So, I mean, we just, you know, we just have to be careful how we're thinking about these things and what we're doing with the money. I mean, we spent almost all the development impact fees that we had at the time on Skyview. And this isn't Skyview, of course, but we agreed, I mean, at least I think we agreed at the time, okay, that's that. Skyview, from now on, I mean, the rest of that money for the rest of Skyview needs to come from that area of town. We're not going to rob all the rest of our district to continue to build Skyview. Well, we need to be careful that we don't rob all the rest of our district for any projects. I mean, this is another part of town that's great. I'm not saying that this wasn't a good thing to do. I was all for it. It's just, it's very frustrating that we're having to spend another $500,000 on a dreaded parking lot. And it just, you know, makes me wonder, where is it coming from?
We can approve this and move forward. I can bring back a discussion item. And we can look at this and moving forward, how we could address this.
That's fine.
I think something important to remember, as long as we're not showing disparity and not using it in a specific area for a reason, that would become an issue. But as long as we're not saying, well, we don't want to spend money there, that's where it becomes questionable in my eyes.
Oh, and I'm not saying that, but if we get money and then we spend it someplace else, we are de facto saying we're not going to spend it there because we spend it someplace else.
But if there's a project in the works. But do we want, but if we hold it more than 5 years for an area that we never use it, we have to refund it. So keep that in mind too.
Yes.
So if we happen to not have a, like, for instance, the land we approved and are considering, I know it's part poor, but if we don't have any land to buy and can't develop it and we've collected fees in that area, now we have to refund them. We can't use it for the good of the district. So keep that in mind as well. I understand what you're saying, but there's two
This
sides.
is an accounting thing that I'm talking about, not a physical dollar bill.
But if you're saying don't spend it,
Accounting
let's spend that area.
Can this be something discussed in the Budget and Personnel Committee instead? And then brought forward as an item? Would that be more pertinent or?
Whatever the board would like to do. I'm fine with going ahead and doing this tonight and then having this discussion.
Okay,
At a
I
future
just think that the issues are kind of separate from,
What we're-
they're related, but they're not entirely.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're related in that we have to discuss where the money's coming from.
I think this brings what you're talking about into light, but I don't think it should affect this particular.
No. I'm fine with that, as long as we discuss it in the future.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments?
I will move the board of directors accept the change order request from Diamond Construction, Inc. in the amount of $474,456 and authorize the general manager to sign all necessary documents.
All right, can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0.
I'll note the reluctancy on everybody too, just, I know it's a tough pill to swallow. It's.
Moving on to item 5.6. Approval of the 2025 regular board meeting schedule. Mr. DeWitt.
Yes, this is an annual item that we've been looking at the last couple of years here. Approving the schedule for the year. Obviously, we're here tonight's meeting, so I hope it's what you wanted to have. But last year, one of the recommendations from the board or request was to take off the second meeting in July. I think everybody wanted to continue that this year. And then I also wanted to note that May 22nd would conflict with the Capri conference. So I don't know if you wanted to consider canceling that as we did last year. And then we left May 29th as a possible alternative with the caveat that we would schedule it if needed based on our current board agenda item
Is it
load.
pre-conference or
Capri,
I thought it was whatever,
CARPD.
Yeah.
It's a combination of both.
it says CARP. So I wasn't sure.
California, so Capri is the California Association of Park and Recreation Indemnification, which is our JPA for our essential air insurance. And CARPD, which is their sister organization, is the California Association of Park and Recreation Districts.
Just on here, the R and the P are inverted.
CARPI.
California Association of Recreation Park Indemnification. I think I have it backwards. You're right. Okay. Either way. There's potential that a number of you will not be here for the meeting. So we could, yes.
So I only have a question. What's the July? Why not July the second? How did that come about?
A lot of people looking for summer vacations.
Oh,
And also things tend to slow down in.
Yeah, development tends to slow down those months too. It's been some slow months for us. So,
not that I don't have summer vacations planned, but just. it's like-
and we can change that date to a different time if you wanted. You know, the reality, looking at it, maybe it makes more sense to do the July 10th meeting if you wanted. Because of the holiday and the way it falls this year. I'm open either way. It doesn't make a difference.
Usually in the July 3rd celebration, we get that nice, nothing to do after that for a few weeks.
Yeah, I think that it probably makes more sense to cancel the July 10th meeting and have the July 24th meeting. Do you think?
I am fine with that, yes. Right.
Anybody else?
All in favor, yeah.
Which one?
July 10th.
July
to the
10th.
24th.
I'm fine either way.
Yeah, that's good.
That's fun.
I have no preference in that.
I just questioned because I wasn't sure where that was coming from or why. Is there something special about the last week of July?
Just so people can enjoy summer break.
Got it.
Then you would know that there is that big gap that one could actually take a vacation.
Right.
And also for staff too, because then they don't have to prepare for the meetings. They would know that as well if they're planning anything.
And it doesn't affect the necessity of a special meeting if it comes up. So,
So I move the board of directors approve the regular board meeting schedule for 2025 with the change that we go dark on July 10th instead of July 24th. Do I need to indicate that we're also canceling May 22nd, or we'll do that closer to that?
We can do it now.
Because the conference has already been set.
Okay, and also canceling May 22nd.
second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes 4-0. On to committee reports and general manager report, Mr. DeWitt.
It's been windy. In case you guys didn't know. Only lost one tree though. So it was a rather large one at Larimore Park right there on the corner. It's already been removed and it will be replanted this spring. So other than that, we did, we got debris everywhere within the parks. Maintenance staff doing a good job keeping up on it. Put in the heavy winds the last couple of days. I will tell you, our maintenance staff is all caught up on their trainings because they've been inside doing that. So it worked out in that aspect. But all in all, we've escaped this wind relatively unscathed, so that's good to know. Today, staff and our contractor started the removal of Felspar Arena. The first arena, the rest of it will be done tomorrow, completed tomorrow. And the new arena will be installed early next week there. From there, they're gonna move on to do the 2 arenas here at Rick Thompson Arena and then on to Larimore after that. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll be completing those processes. We have received our approval through Metropolitan Water District for our turf reduction program at Vernova Family Park. Staff will be meeting with the contractor next week to start identifying all the valves that will be removed. They will be spraying to kill off the grass essentially. And we have some signs that have been made up, yard signs that'll go on there that says turf reduction program in process. We have 6 months to complete the process. The reality is it's probably gonna take 3 or 4 to go through the entire process. It's a month-long process just to terminate the grass as it is. Youth basketball, first games are scheduled for Saturday, Avalon Park. Avalon Park is part of the public safety power shutoff, and we have been notified the power could remain off until Sunday. So tomorrow we'll be making determination if we're gonna have a first week of basketball this week or next week. So we'll keep you guys updated when it comes to that. Speaking of the power shutoff, the Hooper Community Center is currently without power. It may be back on this afternoon. I haven't heard. Veterans Memorial Community Center is without power. Eddie D. Smith Senior Center is without power. Avalon Park is without power, and Ranch Hooper Regional Sports Park is without power. A couple other smaller parks within those areas as well, but those are the main, on Shadow Rock, I'm sorry. Those are all without power at the current moment. And hopefully they'll be back on shortly. So yes, very concerning. Debbie Patterson did inform me today that FSA, who does the senior meals program at the senior center, has had to throw away all of the food in their refrigerators and freezers. So that's unfortunate. They did bring in meals to go. The power went out yesterday morning. The food had already been prepared. They're able to serve that. Today they brought out their meals to go, kind of the TV dinner type of thing that they're able to take and go with. We're playing tomorrow by ear, this summer program. I've had some preliminary discussions with the city that we need to look into backup generators for that facility. Not only because of the senior nutrition program that is so important, but also it could be a resilient center as well for those areas that are subject to power shutoffs. So I did get contacted by SCE Sunday night about 8 o'clock, looking to use Skyview Event Center for a resilient center. Unfortunately, we had a number of programs there that we weren't able to cancel because of that. The Hooper Community Center was the other facility they want to use, obviously under construction, wouldn't work. And all our other facilities that could house it are not in working condition right now because of their power shutoffs. I did refer them to the VFW if it's something they'd be interested in. They did say yes. I made the contact to David Barnes and asked if they wanted to do something. They were ecstatic to be able to do it. They will be reimbursed a decent chunk of change. So going forward, I've recommended VFW be the resilient center for the area, with the fallback being Hooper Community Center once it's opened. I think that's a good fund source for the VFW. So that's where we're at with everything going on right now.
It's hopping over there. They are big.
I saw pictures today. I heard through an email chain, it was the second busiest center in, they said the state, but it's really only Southern California that's impacted. So through SCP at least.
Long line outside today.
Yeah. Well, that's a thing to be proud of, but.
Snow day?
Oh, sorry. Snow day was great. I was there early in the morning. It was definitely cold. The kids were having a blast. That's one of our fun events that they come in, they sled for an hour, the kids are wiped out. Parents are happy and they go on their way. But we did sell out all 4 time spots.
Just a question on that.
Yeah.
The events are only held in the morning for snow day?
Yeah. It's 9 to noon.
19 and I
Yeah.
did see that, yeah.
We've looked at doing
Snow starts.
No, now, I think it's
Yeah,
starting to get low.
well, we looked at doing an evening snow day,
Right.
snow night or something like that. And we just thought, in talking with people, they didn't like it. It'd be only getting colder as the event went on instead of warming up. So we steered away from that.
the number of kids that attended, was it a variety of ages or was it just the little kids?
Well, we had, I don't want to say newborns, but young toddlers all the way up to
Zena's mom.
Zena's mom went down and she's in her 80s.
Oh, wow.
So we had the whole gamut out there.
Okay.
So,
This was the fifth one? Fourth one.
oh, it's long, well, might be about the 6th or 7th. We didn't do it during the pandemic.
We did it before the pandemic.
Yeah, we did before the pandemic. It might be 6 or
It
7.
started after I got on the board, so it wasn't before I got on. the board. Started, I think, the same year.
At least 6. It's like, we can look back.
So Ross, you've been here for 2 terms?
I'm gonna move my second term now.
Any other questions for Mr. DeGood?
Nope.
Let's move on to board comments. Start with Ms. Rivas.
Just maybe for snow day, I would have liked to see, I mean, it's my first year trying to attend it. I wasn't able to. I also had my 21-year-old, it was her birthday, so I had 2 events going on and I know she went snowy.
She would love to snow.
Exactly, but the time frame just didn't cut it. So I was like, maybe something in the evening, maybe perhaps, just throwing it out there. But other than that, I'm sorry I missed it. I wish I would have seen all the little ones and whose mom? Zena's mom?
Zena's mom.
Yeah.
Ms. Johnson?
I was able to go by with snow day, and as always, all the different kids and parents were just having a great time sliding down the hill. They were having a grand time, and the ones that had finished sliding were over there bouncing, and it was, as always, a really great event, and everyone looked like they were having a great time. So, and thank you to the 2 Lions clubs for providing the breakfast for that event.
Mr. Leach?
Yep, also the same thing about snow day. We went there in between the last 2 areas when they were changing over. And as you said, children of all ages were sliding down that hill. Definitely saw some adults, saw some little ones in their mom or dad's lap going down, just some with a sheer panic on their face and some laughing like crazy. But it was always a great event. Yes, thank you to the Lions for providing the free breakfast again. I also like to say we went to breakfast with Santa. Going back a while since we haven't did there, and the Santa Claus, as was mentioned earlier, was a good Santa Claus. And we were able to get our pictures taken with Santa, so that was nice. And a good event again. The other thing I'd mention is the Christmas lights contest over on Reflection Way by Oak Quarry Park. That neighborhood knows how to celebrate Christmas with lights. That entire street around that corner, I didn't even know that you could purchase 4-story tall Santa Clauses and snowmen. But apparently you can. Those things are gigantic.
Did not know you. they-
Taller than a 2-story house. I'd say 4-story, but they were definitely taller than the 2-story
Oh,
house.
yes, they were huge. There was
They
3.
had their windows decorated with Mickey and Minnie and Donald in the windows. When you looked at I mean, this place was amazing. I would like to make one suggestion that whenever we do our winners, I want to see some pictures on the website of all the winners. And when we do a street like that, we need to nominate a street and do something special because that was a great location.
What area was this?
Over by Quarry Park, off of Armstrong.
They did win the street.
Was they win a street or did they win just I thought just the one home.
I think they won street
Did
and
they get street? I'm sorry, I saw where the one home got.
neighborhood, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, some more photos of the winners I think would be appropriate on the website.
I think there was a post with some videos, wasn't there?
Very little though. There was very, very little. So I'd like to see more, but a very successful year again with the Christmas lights. We drove all over the city to all the nominated homes. And yeah, very, very nice. I think staff did an amazing job this last year and looking forward to see what we can do this year.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I would like to thank staff as well. I'm glad we can put on an event like Snow Day, considering, you know, our climate changing and getting warmer and the snow in the mountains being less and less. I'm glad we can bring that here to people who wouldn't otherwise have access to that.
I don't think there was even snow as of that day.
Yeah, no, there wasn't. But yeah, thank you to staff, and that's it for me.
Mr. President, if I
Yes.
might, I note that someone named Alex has joined our Zoom call. I assume it is Alex Flores, who is the owner of the property that was the subject of annexation 38. And so I would just inform him that that matter did pass. Am I correct in my assumption?
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Did pass.
That item did pass without question. The election and public hearings were all held, and the board concluded that a while ago.
Okay, thank you guys. And I'm apologies for the tardiness. Unfortunately, had some family members lose. They lost their homes in the Eaton fire in Pasadena. So I've been dealing with a lot of turmoil all day. But just wanted to hop on and yeah, sounds like you guys already took care of it. So thank you all. And yeah, just wanted to chime in case you know, it was necessary. But thank you guys.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for making time.
Thank you.
No problem. Anyway, that's it for me. Just have a good night, everybody, and thank you all. Stay safe out there.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you, Mr. Owen, for that. Any committee reports?
Other than
Assignments? Yes, sir.
take one and pass them down.
Oh, she was extra, sorry.
All right. And then those will be the committee assignments, future committee meetings, budget and personnel.
I'd like to work with the two individuals on that. Drawing a blank right now is that.
It's Ms. Johnson and Mr. Leisure.
Yeah, it's getting up a meeting for mid-year budget review and then kick off for the 2025-26 budget cycle. So I'll reach out with you guys over the next couple of days to get that moving.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
I'm good with you.
All right, I'll let you guys figure that out. Agenda items for future board meetings. I think that could be discussed in budget personnel, right? And then upcoming meetings will be January 23rd and February 13th. And with that, I will adjourn our meeting at 7:35.
Very good.
Hi, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So was the video that